Hey, everybody. This is a special edition of the Pardon My Jerk podcast. We're coming at you with an emergency pod because a little bit of news was dropped today. I'm joined here with Duncan, who is gracious enough to jump on today. What's up, bud?
What's going on, man?
So before we get started, though, this week's jerk work, Dunk's going to go over it with us today. Tell us what you did today, Dunk.
All right, so today I did 50 calories for the guys, 40 calories for the women on the assault bike into 10 reps, 10, 15, 20 reps of chest to bar pull-ups and sumo deadlift high pulls with a buyout of 50 calories on the bike for the guys, 40 calories for the women. It got spicy.
I'm watching. I'm continuing my rewatch of the 2017 CrossFit Games right now, where they had to do the 40 cals on the assault bike.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert: George Sanchez does 40 calories in 26 seconds.
Jesus.
The other day, we did 35 calories on the assault bike to like open like a sprint workout. I think it took me like a minute and 15. Something like that. So 50 cals, man. How long did it take you? Do you know?
I finished the whole workout in 13:58, which isn't bad, but my chest to bar pull-ups are about as garbage as it gets. So that is
10,
if you're fluid,
15, 20.
Yeah. Yep.
How'd you break it up?
I did 5 and 5 on the first one. I did 5 and 5 for the chest to bar pull-ups, 7 and 8, and then the last round for chest to bars was just kind of get it done. And then the sumo deadlift high pulls, I was unbroken first 2 rounds, and then 10 and 10 on the last round.
What's your 50 cal assault bike look like fresh in a workout?
I think the best I've ever done is like a minute 2. Fresh in a workout or fresh 50 cals?
Is part of like a Metcon.
2 minutes.
Dude, I'm just not great on the assault bike. It is not the strength of mine.
So today we started with it and I finished in 2:35 was when I got off the bike. And then I finished and I had it at like 2:15. I sprinted the last like 20 calories.
Yeah.
So like,
dude, because it's literally I just suck at it because like I'm on that bike and I had the same sort of mental approach every time where I'm like, dude, this is just all pain. How much you're willing to put yourself through, just embrace it, just go. And I'll just rip that thing and I'm like, I'm doing it. It's working. And then just die, like it just dies. And dude, then I have to like drag my body across the finish line. Like
the assault bike's such a weird thing. Like it's like, all right, yeah, I can put my body through pain, but then like no matter what amount of pain you're willing to go through, your body just won't do it anymore.
Oh my God. And I've been practicing.
Like it just won't go.
I've been practicing. Like we do assault bike, like intervals and sprints all the time, and I just can't get better.
What's your fastest like 50 cal bike?
I don't want to find out that information.
Dude,
I have no desire to figure out what the answer to that question is.
I don't think I've ever been in more pain after a workout than like just the 50 cal assault bike. Like just, all right, we're doing the 50 cal bike today and that's it. I've never been in more pain after a workout than that.
We made the mistake last week. I did one. So it was 35, I think it was 30 cal bike. It was 30 cal bike, 15 ring muscle ups, 30 cal bike, time cap, 6 minutes. And I donated plasma that day.
Oh God.
So
jeez, bro, you program the workouts, man. Like do that to yourself.
I was in the darkest of dark, like, you know, those ones where like you don't recover until the next day.
Yeah. Like you like drag yourself up to the couch and it's just like, it doesn't help. Like you're still laying there in pain and
oh yeah. Dude, my
don't
brother
know when it's going to get better
up in the snow. So my brother walks outside. He's like, I need some fresh air. He walks outside, throws up in the snow, and he's like, I gotta go inside. Walking, and then throws up again. And he's like, I gotta get inside.
You've got so many people at your gym that just throw up all the time.
He throws up again, and at that point, he's like, I'm not gonna make it. So he just lays in the snow.
Oh my
he just
God.
lays there in the snow. Like we go through we were like benching or something like that day. we're like benching and doing some like accessory work. We're like, is Max alive still?
Oh, so this is like, so he missed most of the workout.
Yeah, he missed the whole. We led off the day with that.
Ah,
I wanted to
man.
hit it fresh. He comes back and we're like, dude, I know you're hurting, but it's a partner workout today, so you're getting back in there.
Dude, you programmed. I remember you programmed a 3-minute or a 1,000 meter row at the beginning of a workout one time. I hit it and then I left. I was done. That was it for me. I was finished for the day. So I know where Max is coming from there.
Because, dude, you have those 10 general physical skills, but like the 11th general physical skill that you have to practice is just getting into that pain cave in that dark place. Like everybody gets so used to like volume or like, oh, strength, strength, whatever. Like if you're always going to that Metcon tired, you just don't know how to figure out where the dark place is or
Dude,
what intensity is.
I can figure out where the dark place is, but like I go to the dark place and then I'm done. Like it's
Right.
it. Don't expect me to do accessory work afterwards.
Or like, you know, or like you get kind of in the habit, like in like an AMRAP or something like that, where you get to that red line and you're like, whoop, that was close. Let me back off. You know what I mean? Like there is a certain skill of like learning how to balance your pain tolerance and sit in that specific zone and figure out what you can maintain for a certain amount of time. Right. So
yeah,
it's a good thing to hone going into the open, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Which is a perfect segue into why we have gathered here today. And that is to discuss a little piece of news that I woke up to this morning. So today we were informed that the Reebok CrossFit Games are now going to be known as the NoBull CrossFit Games. What was your initial reaction, Don?
But the name just doesn't do it for me. It doesn't have the same ring as the Reebok CrossFit Games. Now that's just an initial, like I was just like, wow, it doesn't sound great. Not that matters to anyone, but that was my first thought.
It's like if you don't know, if you're a person that's not indoctrinated to the NoBull brand and you hear the NoBull CrossFit Games, you're like, oh, give me a fucking break.
Dude, they've got to do like the CrossFit Games sponsored by NoBull. It's got to be like in small letters under the bottom underneath. Like they can't, it can't be the Reebok CrossFit Games anymore.
Because it does sound kind of cheesy where it's like again, like if you're not familiar with NoBull and you're trying to grow the sports to new people, they're like the NoBull cross. Give me a like.
Yeah, right. Yeah. My
just the horns.
My second thought was, are the uniforms going to be as boring as their shoes?
Their shoes aren't boring. I mean, they have like sprinkles and ice cream and shit on them.
They're boring, man. They're all the same. They don't change any, like every year. They're always the same. It was like, it's like the people that make their shoes and design all their stuff. It's like, oh man, now we really got to work.
Yeah.
Like, we got to design uniforms for the CrossFit Games.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Like, I feel like if they didn't come out like a special Games edition brand shoe, that's maybe something a little bit more exciting than this one's purple.
Right.
Like, they probably would be missing the mark to some degree.
Yeah, they've got to get more creative with what they're selling.
It seems like essentialism seems to be a part of their brand. Like,
okay, essentialism, yeah, but they charge more than anyone else does for shoes.
Right. So. Well, I was more concerned with like apparel now, like, you know, like, oh, cool, like the company that sells $40 t-shirts is now in charge of outfitting the games. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah, I don't have an issue. I'm not a NoBull person, but a lot of people love their shoes. There's got to be something to it. I mean,
oh yeah, I've never had a pair. I've never found the appeal in spending that much for just kind of a bland shoe.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I'm a shoe fetishist, so I try to collect as much as I can. And I like my NoBulls a lot, practically speaking. Like they're great for running in. They're shoes I do running workouts in. Solid for weightlifting. I like the shoes. I'm with you. The look of them isn't my favorite. But you know, Reeboks aren't always home run hitters either. You know,
No,
you
no.
know,
I'm
they
a
put some pretty
I'm a
ugly
Nike
nanos out
person.
over the years.
I'm a Nike person. I think it was a bit of a stretch to think that Nike would sponsor the CrossFit Games, so
That'd have been cool though.
it would have been, but I don't think that was even a shot that was going to happen.
Yeah, yeah. The Nano 3 and the Nano 4. That was a dark time. That was a dark 2 years of CrossFitting shoes. That was like before before NoBull really blew up, and I don't even think that might have been right when like the Nike Metcon 1s were coming out. So like if you're like a CrossFitter, it was like Innovates or like the Nano 3. Not a great time for shoe apparel.
Yeah. So what do you think about like the company itself buying into the CrossFit Games?
So I didn't read or listen to anyone else's reactions besides, Brooke, Katrin, and Tia's. Like, shocker, they're pretty psyched about it. Right. So I haven't listened to what anyone said, but I did read the press release that that CrossFit put out on the Games site. And I do think this is a good thing.
Yeah.
I think this is a good thing.
I agree.
First and foremost, the most important thing, apparently NoBull has committed to creating the largest prize purse in CrossFit Games history.
Yeah.
So what I would love to see is, what do the winners get now? 300 to 300,000?
I think that's what they got last year. But I think they said that they were upping this is going to be the biggest prize purse, so it's got to be more than that.
Right.
You would think that they would jump it to 500. Like if they're going to make a big splash, then it would jump to 500.
Yeah. And that, to me, 300 to me is fine. I would really enjoy seeing CrossFit run the way golf is, where like last place you get $1,000. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, because there are people that make that trip all the way out there and they do that. They compete at that level and they go home with empty pockets.
Well, they need to figure out a way to pay everybody. That way it makes it worthwhile. Like the lower tier athletes are not making their money off of because CrossFit. They're making their money through like Instagram and being Instagram models and all that stuff.
Right. So I would love, again, if you want to professionalize the sport, I would love there to be just more opportunity for all the athletes to professionalize. So the 300,000 to the winner, if that's what it is, it's somewhere in that neighborhood. To me, that's plenty, but I'm also not committing to win the game. So 500,000, I think that's a big enough nest egg that it's like, okay, this is the real deal.
I think that they need to take some notes from golf though, because that's really the only sport that you can like compare. Like if you're going to mainstream it, it's really the only sport that you could compare it to.
Yeah.
In terms of
like racing, like auto racing sports. I don't know. There's like, the problem is there's a lot of other sports that have a similar model to CrossFit, but they are no more mainstream than CrossFit is. So it is really hard to make like a lot of those comparisons, right?
What sports are you talking about?
Something like, I'm thinking like surfing, snowboarding, like like professional drone racing, like that type of stuff. Like there are obscure sports with similar models to how CrossFit would function, but I feel like they're not mainstream enough for me to really understand it as well.
Yeah.
Like maybe even like but golf is probably the closest analog to the CrossFit Games. Tennis is another one. But yeah, tennis is probably the most similar because I feel like they don't have a super linear schedule.
Yeah, their schedule's just all over the place. But then the problem with tennis and golf is that their tournaments don't culminate to like one major tournament. Like you've got your major tournaments throughout the year, and then you win based off of like points.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
NASCAR's like that too. The biggest race of the year is in the very beginning of the season.
Yeah, but I feel like that there is a way where you could have like the 4 major events, and each athlete works through those 4 major events, and then they earn their way to a much smaller but grander final event.
Yeah, because I feel like track, would operate like that. Like I think like as a sport, track and field operates that way.
I have
So I'd
no
be
idea
curious,
how
but
track and field operates at all. So
yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
But anyway, I digress. Obviously somebody putting more money into the sport is good for the sport.
Yeah.
I think there's more money on the line. There's more out there for sponsors, which there's another major sponsor in play right now we can talk about after this. But here's why I think this is good for CrossFit. Reebok has always been sort of ever since like the 90s, maybe the early 2000s, has been sort of a redheaded stepchild of a brand. I think Adidas bought it, and they're kind of trying to figure out what exactly it is that they want to do with it, you know. And now Adidas apparently has Reebok posted up for sale. They're taking offers on buying that brand, and I've seen rumors that that Reebok's going to start being carried in like Walmart stores or like department stores like that. So it seems like at every sort of turn they keep sort of cheapening that brand.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because it's like there is a tradition to the Reebok brand, right? Like I love Reebok Classics. I'm a huge fan of them, but it just seems like every which way you go, they're just kind of find a way to knock that brand down a little bit, and now it's like totally in flux. So NoBull getting on board, I think, is a good thing because what we're seeing is a burgeoning brand, like a brand that's growing every single year, and they're getting bigger and bigger. And now what I'm observing is the NoBull brand is expanding beyond CrossFit,
Right.
which I think is fantastic.
Well, I think it's good. I think it's good because NoBull started as like a CrossFit brand, you know? Like Reebok was its own thing for years prior to. NoBull started in the CrossFit space. I mean, it earned its way to this moment where they can be the face of CrossFit, I guess, in like the apparel and shoe industry. So like, I mean, CrossFit is their main thing. It's their main source of income. Like that's where they get most of their people buy their equipment from them as CrossFitters. So like it just makes sense that they would be in it, and they were going to be more invested in it than anybody else. I would say.
I'm curious to see where Reebok goes. Yeah, because like you said, like if it feels like CrossFit is a major stream of income for them. So I'd be curious if they're going to continue to build that nano brand going forward. If it's going to remain profitable for them. I'd hate to see them go because that was such a good partnership. And I don't think I think some of the above the treetops people, namely Coach Glassman, did some stuff to really piss off Reebok. And I think
the writing on the wall for this 2 years ago.
Right. And it seemed like that relationship was kind of fractured, which I thought was really unfortunate because, I don't want to shit on Reebok because they helped us build what we have. Like that, especially like their stake in the games is what built and professionalized the sport, which is what grew it to be the thing that we watch on ESPN, So I'd hate to see them go.
Right. But I mean, I feel like they'll still like create shoes. I feel that's got to be one of their higher sources of income. You know what I mean? Like you just said, like those nano shoes, you see them everywhere when you go into a Reebok store. It's up there with the Reebok classics,
I'm not sure how I feel now about the fact that I bought a pair of Nano X1s last week. Like, did I just buy a collector's item, or did I just buy something where they're like, we're out, forget it?
They don't wear it yet. It might be worth something. They might only sell a few.
Yeah. They were supposed to be here over a week ago, and they're still sitting in New Jersey.
Maybe you're just not getting them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was a joke. They actually, so there is some exciting stuff in there seems to be a really strong focus from HQ, just from perusing some of the stuff I've seen on their website on sort of building relationships with other brands, and sort of partnering with other brands to sort of build each other up. And sneaky thing, you haven't heard it talked about very much, but CrossFit has recently built a partnership with Gillette razors, or Gillette. Did you hear about that?
I didn't know that. No,
yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah. So pretty exciting stuff there. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's like, we're starting to see like a little bit of this stuff now. Like these major brands start to get involved, and like, dude, all the better, man.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
The more
that to me
money
it's exciting.
coming in, the better. Yeah, I agree.
Right. So, yeah, it's it was some interesting information that came down the pipeline. So that shocked me a little bit. I thought we'd get one more year out of Reebok.
Yeah, but like you can't just sign like a 1 year. You're not going to just sign a 1 year contract. I think the minimum you probably go is like a 3 year, which is what NoBull signed.
So like the contract that they apparently signed, there was like some vagueness to it. Like there was some incongruities where they were like, it's a 10-year deal, but they were like, is it a 10-year? Is it a 10-year deal or is it a 10 games deal? So
okay.
Yeah, so apparently there was like they didn't know, everything was kind of in limbo and they didn't know where it was going to go going forward. But yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate thing. I don't want to see Reebok go away in the CrossFit space, but I do think this will be ultimately good for the sport. I think there's more universal appeal from the NoBull brand than there is with specifically CrossFit Nanos.
Yeah, I agree with
you. Yeah. Uniforms are nice, though. I'm really curious what they're going to do with, as far as like the shorts and t-shirts and all that stuff goes.
I don't know if I got faith in them to put anything out there that's going to be any more than just like a gray t-shirt.
That's what I'm saying. That was kind of like a curiosity for me too. I'm like, are we going to get something beyond like just, like a wine colored t-shirt that says like NoBull and like their last name on the back?
Do you think everybody's going to have the leather lifters? When they do
heavy events? Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, man, I am not a fan of those.
Yeah, I don't want to hate on NoBull because I have every reason to enjoy their stuff, but dude, those lifters, man, lifted in a pair of bowling shoes.
Yeah, man, they're I mean, cool. The concept is cool, but like make them look a little bit better.
Yeah, and they're like brown.
They just look like old man shoes. Yeah.
They're real
not appealing.
Bad. And they are particularly unflattering when you see them on women. They're not good women's lifting shoes.
Yeah, bowling shoe was a good comparison.
Reebok's new lifters, I got to give credit where credit's due on there. Their new lifters are sexy.
Yeah, they do look good. I had a couple of friends at my gym that just got a couple pair, and they are nice.
Yeah, I bought my brother a pair, and then we had someone that we trained with that got some of those new ones. I'm a huge fan. They look really nice.
I got Nikes, and like mine are getting old. Like they're starting to come apart, and I'm curious. Like I always thought that I'd just get more Nikes because that's what I wear. But those Reeboks do look good.
Yeah, and who knows? They might be getting clearanced out here soon. Might want to jump on that.
True. True.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for that one.
So, yeah, man, that was a shocker to sort of wake up to this morning. But all in all, it leaves me with a lot more optimism, even more optimism than I had previously.
I agree. I mean, it shows that they're looking for like towards the future because it's like I said, NoBull's a building company, so they're all about expanding. So like, it's a good sign for 10 years from now. Like,
so we're up all night last night with the baby, and Britt wakes up this morning. I'm already up, and I told her the news, and the first thing she asked me, she goes, "So is NoBull publicly traded?" And I was like, I'm checking on that because
that is a good point.
Yeah, for the record, they are not. But I was like, oh shit.
Upsetting.
I'm bringing up Robinhood.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, man, there is some pretty exciting stuff. Now, all I'm waiting on, I keep going to that game site, man. I'm checking I want some more details on these semifinals. Give me the deets on the semifinals. Nope. Did I lose you?
You definitely have been itching for that.
Okay. Yeah.
No, you're here.
Yeah. I want to, let's get Mac. Hell, man, let's head up to St. Cloud, Minnesota. Okay, so we're back. Sorry about that. A little bit of technical difficulty there. So, all right. So, Dunk, while we were taking a break, I did take a second to look into this. So, Gillette, the company, is a sponsor for what other stadium or event?
It is the stadium of the New England Patriots.
Yes, in Foxborough, Massachusetts, right? NoBull, the company, is
Yep.
based out of what city in the United States?
Oh man, I did not even. Is it Boston?
Boston, Massachusetts,
Boston
or
New
the
England?
suburbs of Boston. So,
Oh my God, I did not even put that together.
well, not everybody
Oh
can
man,
have this superior level of intellect. So, are we starting to see some
Yeah.
writing on the wall that the 2026 NoBull CrossFit Games are going to be relocated to Boston, Massachusetts?
that gives NoBull 6 years to build a compound.
Yep. The NoBull Performance Center.
Yep, that would be there. If that happens, we're running this episode back.
Yeah, 6 years later, I called it, dude. They got it all right there. They got the rivers. There's like woods. There's skiing. There's they have plenty of athletic complexes and stadiums there. I think there's like more colleges in Boston than there is any other city in America.
Dude, they have to do that in like July because it probably gets a little too cold for CrossFitters in even August.
Yeah, right.
Up there.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh man, it just all came together with beautiful mind style for me.
That was just one of those moments.
Well, dude, remember they did the Trek bikes a couple years ago for like Crit?
Yeah.
I think the company's so the company it was CrossFit. It was a CrossFit bike. Remember that in like 2018?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Guess where that company's based out of?
I mean,
Boston,
I guess at this point. Jesus, man.
All the breadcrumbs are there, man.
Yo, where is Go Ruck brought out or sponsored out of or owned out of? Are they out of New England too? Boston, Massachusetts?
I don't think so, but I don't
Dude,
know
if they are. That'd be something.
Yeah, I wonder
that's wild.
if there is any level of like logistical difficulty with like the games being located in Madison. There has to be, right?
But if there was, why would they sign another deal? Like they had a good spot in Carson.
I know that information is out there why they decided to move. I can't remember it offhand. So when I read Castro's book, though, Madison was not their only choice on the table.
I am surprised they didn't just like run their original 3-year deal and then just kind of found a new cool, a new place where they could like do some different things.
Right. Travel it. That's what I'm saying, man.
You don't need to like 6 years, or they're going to be there for, when did they go there? 2017. By the time 2020, that's 9 years, basically 8 years in one place. That's right. I don't think that is a necessary thing for the cross. I don't think that should be the case for the CrossFit Games. I think you should want to change up location.
So
take it down to Miami, man, and do some some of that, like the Wadapalooza stuff in the ocean.
So one of the choices they had, so when they were moving, I'm going to forget one. It was Madison, Wisconsin, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It was a medium-sized city in Tennessee. I'm pretty sure it was Gatlinburg.
Is there a reason they're going for like this, like I wouldn't say smaller cities, but like not mainstream cities?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Now, like why some of these like smaller cities? I'm not saying that these are like small cities or anything, but like
I don't know, because
they're not like LA or like Miami.
But there's like an ease of travel in LA. So LA is a huge city, but it doesn't drive like an East Coast city does.
There's an ease of travel. Have you been to LA?
I've been to LA. I've spent time in Los Angeles. Going from one part of LA, like going from one city in Metro Los Angeles to another city in Metro Los Angeles, that is hard because of traffic. But as far as driving around like in Los Angeles, it's easier to do than New York City or Atlanta or Philly or something like that. Because LA is just much more spread out. Mm-hmm. East Coast cities suck to drive in, dude. They're awful. They're old, beat up roads and all that. Like I would imagine LA, like, I don't know, maybe they just wanted to get away from the big city thing. Like they wanted more access to lakes and rivers and forests and trails and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, if they wanted more access, they don't utilize it enough.
Yeah.
Like they utilize that lake, but like they don't do anything on trails. Not really. They run around the field.
That's yeah, it's true.
So like, if that was the reason, like I support it, but like they're not doing the things.
Like, well, I don't know, man. Like they did the Go Ruck in 2019. Can you do that in Atlanta, Georgia?
Dude, they literally ran around a grass field. Like you can do that anywhere.
Okay.
You can do that in my
could you set up like the obstacle course race like they did in 2017? Could you set that up in Baltimore?
Yeah, because it was in a parking lot.
No, it was in a field.
The obstacle what oh, I'm thinking of the 2017 obstacle course.
That's what I'm saying, the 2017 obstacle course. You're thinking of Rescue Randy.
The 2017 obstacle course was in a parking lot where they just put sand down and then built it was a sprint obstacle course, right? You're not talking about the one where Fraser fell off the thing, off the rope ladder.
Yeah, the one from 2017, the one that took like 20 seconds to get through.
That was in a parking lot.
It was?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I don't remember that. Okay.
Yeah, they brought in sand and just covered it all up and put their obstacle course in. It might have been in like the grass. All in one area.
Logistically, that sounds difficult to do in like a city.
I mean, yeah, but
to do that in Philly.
How hard is that to find a large parking lot though? Like.
But they got to be chill with you leaving a bunch of sand in there.
Yeah, that's what you pay them to like. You pay them to like be able to go into that area.
I guess.
I mean, they're not just going to leave the sand there. Like they're going to get the sand out and it's going to rain in 2 days and the sand's going to be gone.
All right. Whatever. I do agree with you though. Madison's run its course. I think a lot of people that go there enjoy that it's a small town. So the whole town is all about the CrossFit Games for a week.
Oh, I agree.
I think they like that aspect of it. So that's why they might want to go to a Gatlinburg, Tennessee, or something like Tucson, Arizona, or something like that.
I mean, I
think the amenities offered, people are not a fan of.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but I just feel like there's a lot of smaller cities that like really enjoy CrossFit, and the idea of going to the same place 8 years in a row, it's like just change it up, man. Like,
yeah, York, Pennsylvania. If you're out there listening, Dave Castro, Justin Berg, we have a lot to offer the CrossFit Games.
I can think of one place better, Cincinnati.
All right. Well, anyway, that'll conclude our conversation for tonight. If you guys agree with us, disagree with us, have your opinion on it, shoot us a message, leave us a comment. Don't forget, leave us a review. Give us a follow on Instagram. Give us a follow on Facebook. Don't forget to hit your hashtag jerkwork. We'll repost you if you do. Thanks for listening, everybody. Dunk, thanks for jumping on tonight.
No problem, man. Later, guys.
Later, everybody.